About myself, I have bad memory. I also have ADD, so it's a horrible combination, right? Like, 'cause I'll be repeating stuff in my head so I don't forget it, and then my ADD will come out of nowhere and just derail my thoughts. I'll be like, okay, I gotta change, I gotta do laundry, I gotta mop. I gotta change, gotta do laundry, mop. Change, do laundry, mop. Change, do laundry, mop. I just end up watching Grease for the next hour. With that, I also have a really bad problem with mimicking, and I know it's a bad habit, but I gotta do it, you know? It's like an itch you gotta scratch. Like the other day I was in Tim Hortons, I was behind this Jamaican fella, he was ordering his coffee, and he goes, give me a large coffee, no sugar, 3 cream. I fought it hard, man. I had to do it, I had to scratch the itch, right? So I took a couple steps back, under my breath, like, large coffee, no sugar, 3 cream. And then that's when I realized Buddy heard me. He starts slowly turning around. So I slowly turn around with him. And then that's when I realized, just me and him at Tim Hortons. I just turn back around and go along with it. Yo, wagwan! Even sometimes I'll even trail off in your accent, if you have an accent. I realize I'll do, without even realizing I'm doing it. Like the other day at work, I had some woman come up to me and she goes, excuse me, you cut the tree. I was like, yeah, I can come cut the tree. You just have to call the city. You call city. You call city, no money for you. If you don't, it's more money for you. Money. And then I just feel like a racist asshole after. I don't know why I do it. I'm not trying to beat it, you know? So as you can tell, I'm not that bright. I'm also a stoner, so you can imagine how my friends and my conversations go, you know? That didn't even really make sense. But like today, I gave a buddy a ride to the hospital. We gotta get some tests done and whatnot. On our way there, we're smoking a joint. We're talking about the show tonight. And then as soon as we pull up, he goes, hey buddy, break a leg tonight. I go, where's that come from, break a leg? He goes, in theater, if you wish good luck, it's bad luck. So you wanna wish the worst possible thing for good luck. I was like, yeah, you're right. Hey, hope it's cancer. And I just drove off. I was actually driving, I seen this sign, it said defensive driving classes. I was like, what the fuck is that, defensive driving? Isn't that just like not letting buddy into your lane, you know? Is that a signal off for a block and a half? You're like, fuck, you gotta do better than that, buddy, I'm on defense. Then he puts his sirens on, pulls you over. Sore loser, man. Had you. Like, what's offensive driving then, right? Like everybody in Brampton? Yeah, I thought of that one today. So actually on my way here, I took a 401, I was driving, I look over to the right of me, some woman texting and driving. That kind of pissed me off, you know, they follow the rules of the road, right? So I pulled over, rolled my window down, and whipped my beer at her. Some people, you know. Now I only got 2 for the ride home. Yeah, you're right. I'm an alcoholic, you know. They say the first step is admitting it, right? So that's where I've been at the last 8 years of my life. You know, step 1. You know, the best part about step 1 is you can still drink. I realized I had a problem with drinking when I took a break from drinking beer. And I substituted it with sparkling waters. I was just downing a case of bubbly a night. And it looks like, you look like such a bitch when it's just sparkling water cans all over your table. So I started drinking again. I'm a big person that you are who you are from the environment you're raised in, right? Like I knew my dad had a drinking problem from a very young age. I knew that because my whole wardrobe growing up was just beer case t-shirts. You know, like all my school photos just had Molson Canadian across the chest. So that's great. I'm a dad, I got 2 kids at home. They say being a good dad, you gotta have good advice, right? And that's where I lack it, is the good advice part, right? Anytime my kids need advice, I blank. I'm like, shit. Don't eat yellow snow. I mean, it's better than the advice my dad gave me. Liquor before beer, you're in the clear. I'm like, Dad, I'm 7. You know? My son came up to me the other day looking for some advice. He goes, Dad, my friend at school, he calls me fuck. He's 4, right? So I'm like, shit. Hey, next time you see that kid, you call him a fuck back. Like, that's the type of advice I give my kid, right? Like, I don't have no Master Yoshi advice, like, well, with great powers comes great responsibilities. A little racist again. Let's try it out, you know? His Father's Day the other day, and he came home with this cute little thing that he made for me. He says, a list of Dad's favorite things, right? It said, Dad's favorite color, red. You know, Dad's favorite animal, a lion. Dad's favorite drink, apple juice. I'm like, this motherfucker doesn't even know me, man. You know? But I can say in confidence, like, kids are dicks, you know? For no reason sometimes, too, right? Like, the other day I came home, I had a great night, a great day at work. Come through the door, my son sees me run, Daddy! Gives me a big hug. We have a little moment. And then in the same breath, he goes, Mommy's my best friend and I hate you. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, yeah, I hate you. I don't love you and I don't care if I see you anymore. I'm like, buddy, you know that hurts my feelings when you say things like that? And he's like, yes! And then just runs off. What the fuck just happened? You know? So they're dicks, you know? They forced me to drink, you know? And so I got this dad bod. I started going to the gym though. I realized I need to go to the gym when I hit a speed bump and my titties just kept bouncing long after. Like, it's one thing, like, I knew I had a little beer gut, but when you find out you got titties, that's a whole new experience. Like, the bump is back there. How long are these gonna keep going? You know? It's been great though. Ended up getting athlete's foot. Anybody have that before? Athlete's foot? No? It's a nightmare. Mine made it worse too, because mine migrated north to my dick. Let me just say, athlete's dick sounds way better than what it is. You know? So there's supposed to be a hurricane coming up here. I think as a society we need to change the names of hurricanes, you know, so we have a better understanding of what to expect, right? Like, no one's going to be scared of Hurricane Gary Coleman. You know, just bring a light jacket and an umbrella, you'll be all right. You know, or Hurricane Lizzo. You know, you better pack your shit and flee. Hurricane Lizzo's coming and she's taking everybody. You know, or Hurricane OJ. You know, looks like a hurricane came through. We don't have proof. Rest in peace, in the legend. Or Hurricane Caitlyn Jenner. You know, start off as a little rain cloud, transition into a bigger storm. Now it identifies as a hurricane. The far right still thinks it's a little rain cloud. Alright, so just try things. Alright, so I just want to say, I know you guys are wondering, and no, Doug is not gay. I know it's been on our minds. That's his girlfriend right there, very beautiful. And it's okay if he's gay, right? Who cares if he's gay? And unless he's tricking people into being gay, that's the only issue we got, right? I know some of you guys are looking confused, and it happens often. Like, let me tell you about the story about the third time I was tricked into being gay. You know? I had my buddy Pete over at my house. There's my buddy Pete right there. I had my buddy Pete over at my house. We're watching WWE wrestling, right? It's a big match. It's Kane versus Undertaker. Right before the match starts, Pete looks at me and goes, hey, I bet you $10 Kane starts this match with a big boot. I said, all right, Pete, bet. You know, starts the match with a big boot. I'm down $10. Great couple more minutes in the match, I look at Pete, I said, Pete, I bet you $20 Undertaker hits him with a chokeslam in the next 5 minutes. Pete says, bet. 4 minutes, 44 seconds into it, hits him with a chokeslam. I got my money back, I'm up $10. You know, almost near the end of the match, Pete looks at me and goes, I'll suck your dick if Kane wins. I'm like, what the fuck, man? All right, bet. I'm competitive, right? So Kane won, I got my dick sucked, so I'm pretty sure I'm gay now. Nah, I know the rules. I think what frustrated me the most was it was so similar to the second time he tricked me to being gay. I was over at Pete's house, we're watching wrestling, right? Fuck, I gotta stop watching wrestling with Pete. So we're watching wrestling. Pete looks at me and goes, hey, would you suck dick for $1 million? I'm like, yeah, Pete, that's $1 million, dude. And then he starts going down on the number like he's making me an offer. It's great. Got me down to a 6-pack of beer and 3 smokes. I didn't even smoke cigarettes. You know?